back. This is Elegant Granny, your restoration strategist and creator and host of the Proactive Eye podcast. I am here reacquainting myself with you all because it has been a while, and what better way to do it than to join my friend Julie of the writing camp with Julie Jordan Scott in a 2-week challenge, getting acclimated back to doing lives again because I've been going through transitionings. And speaking of which, I still feel a pull on talking about transitions. My lighting keeps changing because the sun is moving, y'all. So if it goes light, dark, you know why. So one thing I will say about transitions or transitioning is it causes, well, for me, it causes me to be more aware of me, of myself, because the first thing I'm going to do is go into hermit mode and spend more time with me, because I understand and I recognize, like I said in a previous live, that I'm going through one, and I realize what I need to do, who I need and who I need to get rid of, what I need to get rid of, and all of that. And one of the things that is so important to be familiar with is yourself. Other people, yeah, but mainly you, because when you are more aware of you, and I'm talking about self-awareness, you pretty much understand what you need, what you don't need, what you like, what you don't like, who you need, who you don't need. You also realize what is for your greatest and highest good, and you know what does not serve you or what no longer serves you. 4 aspects of self-awareness. You have your self-worth, your self-value, your self-concept, and your self-esteem. Those 4. Self-worth and self-value, a lot of people interchange them. The difference is so minimal that you hardly recognize them as different, because they have the same concept. Self-value, you are saying, I am worthy. Self-worth is how you actually feel, not actually how you feel about yourself, but your self-worth is the value that you place on yourself, is what I want to say. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, and your self-concept is what you are committed to becoming, is your self-concept. So when you understand all of those things, those 4 quadrants, I call them quadrants, because that's how my mind processes them. I do a lot of categorizing when I am learning stuff or when I am studying me, because that's how I get most of my answers. That's how I get a lot of my healing. That's how I understand how to better protect myself, is to study myself. It's not going to do me any good to look to see what anybody else is doing and study them and study their concepts for them when I don't do the same for myself, because what they need for them may not be the same thing that I need for me. I may need something more extreme or not as extreme as what they need. So it's very important to understand and be more aware of yourself. What I like about knowing more about me is the more I study me, the more I hear myself saying, that's none of my business. Whereas I used to operate in codependency so bad, like really, really bad. And codependency is something that doesn't just happen, it develops, and most people develop it in childhood, early childhood at that. Because that's how I developed it. There were events that took place in my life, most traumatic, and it was how I protected myself, is how I felt like I needed to protect my sisters and protect other loved ones. I felt, to need to be, I had this savior complex. So that's where the codependency came in. And plus, I was the oldest child. So, with that, I developed a savior complex and I needed to save everybody. And it just something that I never fixed, is something I never worked on. I didn't see it as a problem. No one ever showed it to me where it was a problem. So it appeared to be normal until I continued to grow and I got to the place where I started studying myself more. And that's when I realized, hey, this isn't cool. This isn't cool at all. This codependency, it's not cool, because I'm the one who gets hurt. And when I get hurt, it leads other people to get hurt. And so I needed to do something about that. So I needed to study myself. And so, yeah, that's what Granny has been working on for the last 4 years, even more so. Because I have been working it, but I've been more serious about it since about 2018. I've been very, very serious about it, working with my spiritual advisor. She has been amazing, helping me to heal and helping me to know where my boundaries needed to be reinforced and enforced, and so I can protect myself better. And if it wasn't for her, there are some people that you gotta have in your life. I try to tell people, when you want things to be better, start with your foundations, just like with dealing with a house. Start with your foundation. And from my experience, not just with myself, but experience with working with other people, and I do have a background in psychology. I don't have like a formal degree, but I have many, many, many certificates of where I'm certified in counseling and I'm certified in different aspects of applied psychology, and so I understand different concepts, and that's some of those things I do utilize in my life coaching business, my restoration strategy business, to help people to understand, hey, it's time to stop and it's time to think. And I have to do that myself. That's another reason why I took some time away from social media. It was time for me to stop and think some things and to evaluate my progress and my regress. So, yeah, transitioning is a lot of work. It's a lot of work that comes with it, and depends on what you are working on during your transition. For me, is to heal and protect me, so that I can help others do the same thing. Because it's not just enough for me to do it, but if others that I see who need that, who are open and who are ready for it, I do help them as much as they allow me to help. And I don't worry about what they don't want or what they feel like they don't need, because it's not my business. That's another thing that I learned. Because with codependency, you feel the need of always nagging someone. This is what you need. You need to do this. You need to do that. And especially supporters, people who are very empathic. That's something we can hardly help. We can't help. We want people to be well so much that if we don't watch it, we tend to get a little pushy about it. We don't mean to, but that's just how we are. So every so often, it is so important to reevaluate yourself. And it's something that I try to do every week, every week. And every Saturday or Sunday, particularly on Sundays now, because that's my rest day, I evaluate myself. Like, okay, from today to last Sunday, how did my week go? I go back through my journals, and I have 2 different journals that I work in. I have one that I journal in the day, and I have one that I journal in at night. And I look at my progress and my regress. I see where I have done better. I see where I am maintaining, and I also see where I need some improvement. And yeah, so transitioning, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's so important to know you, because you're not going to know how you need to transition. You're not going to know what you need and who you need. Same things I've been saying all week, but I can't stress it enough. You need to know you. And one of the proverbs that I grew up with is study yourself. Be true to yourself is another one. Study yourself to show yourself approved. Because if you don't study you, when you go out to manage yourself around people in society, you're going to have a little more loss than you do wins. It's so important to study you, because it's human nature to study other people. And we so focus on what someone else has done, what they are doing, what they're thinking about doing, or what they said they are thinking about doing, that we forget that we need to check ourselves. And so that's another reason why I have been away. I have been doing a lot of checking me, checking myself, make sure I'm straight, so when I get back out there, my head is on right, I can help other people with pure intent. And it's hard to do when you don't take the time to be more aware of where you are. Because those of us who help others to heal and to restore themselves, we take a lot of hits from people that we help. And we keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, because we want them to be well. We want this person to be well. We want those people to be well. We want those in our household to be well. Those that we grew up with, we want them to be well. And we forget that some of that focus, some of that energy needs to be directed here. Because we find ourselves so exhausted and so worn out and stretched and overstretched, because some of that energy that we're spending on helping others, some of that energy needs to be turned around to us. So, and that's for us to do. That's not their business. That's our business. So, I'm not going to stay on long. I want to say thank you to my friend, to my friend Julie of Writing Camp with Julie Jordan Scott, for inviting me to this 2-week live, because this is helping me to acclimate back to going live again and doing videos again. I love vlogging. I hated when it was time to give it up for a while, but it was necessary. I needed to go in hermit mode for a while, but now I'm reversed and it is time to come back. So yeah, so this is Elegant Granny. I'm signing off now because I have things to do, and I'm sure you do too. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Those who are coming to the replay, thank you.